Good afternoon, students. Yes, good afternoon. So let's start. We are still continuing with the chapter Enemy. Before I should start, I should want to tell you that CBSE has launched an online essay competition. Those who are interested, you are advised to visit the CBSE official website, and you should need to write an essay within 800 words, and the topic of the essay is Atmanirbhar, that is self-reliance. Within 14th August, you will have to write the essay. All the attachment, all the information you will get in the CBSE www.cbsc.nic. In that website you will get all these detail of this essay writing competition. This is online essay writing competition, and the topic is Atmanirbhar, that is self-reliance. You must have heard that this word Atmanirbhar is being circulated recently. And class 11 and 12, you need to write the essay within 800 words and submit it to that portal, that is www.mygov.in, www.mygov.in. In that portal you will have to submit your essay in PDF format within 14th August 2020. So I hope you should go for it, because this is a good opportunity you people will get this opportunity to write down the essay and join this online competition. It would be better if you wish to join this, because in this lockdown period you should be interested in writing such essays, because this type of competition always give you the always gives you the opportunity to enhance your writing skill. Essay is also there in your syllabus, so I feel you should go for it. You can do it from your home. Just write down the essay and send the essay to www.mygov.in. The topic of this essay is Atmanirbhar, that is self-reliance. Within 14th August, you will have to write the essay. You will get all the detail in that official website of CBSE, that is www.cbsc.nic. There you will get the essay writing competition detail. I hope you people should go and write the essay. Now let's start. Today we will start from page number 44. Last day so far we completed that Dr. Sadao had a plan with the Army General, that the Army General would send two of his assassins, means murderers, to murder the white American, and after murdering they would take away his dead body. For this, Dr. Sadao had waited 3 consecutive nights, 3 nights at a row, but no murderer had come to his house. So Dr. Sadao had changed his plan. He told the white American that he should take his boat, and with the help of the boat he should go to the nearby island, and there he should wait for a Korean fishing boat. Whenever he would get the Korean fishing boat, he should take that boat to escape from Japan. So this was the plan, and Dr. Sadao did not say a single word about the plan to his wife Hana. During that day, Dr. Sadao had brought packaged food and bottled water, and he had stuffed all these to his boat, and in the evening he just arranged it in that seashore. Okay. Afterwards, let's start from page number 44. Here towards the middle of page number 44, I am just starting the reading. He went into the guest room that night before he went to bed himself and checked carefully the American's temperature, the state of the wound, and his heart and pulse. So this is the last meeting with the white American, because as per the plan, after this, that night only the white American would escape from Dr. Sadao's house with the help of that boat. So, beforehand Dr. Sadao went to check the white Americans. He went there and to check carefully the Americans' temperature, the state of the wound. Dr. Sadao also checked his wound and his heart and his pulse. The pulse was irregular, but that was perhaps because of excitement. Dr. Sadao felt that the beating of the pulse, he just felt the pulse of that white American, and he found that the pulse was irregular, the beating of the pulse was irregular, and he could realize that this might be because of excitement, because the white American must be very much excited, because now he was going to escape from Dr. Sadao's house. The young man's pale lips were pressed together and his eyes burned. His eyes was burning, means he was excited. The white American was very much excited and he pressed his lips. Only the scars on his neck was red. We know he had a scars here under his neck. He had a scars. The scars was still red, and the American was very much excited. I realize you are saving my life again, he told Sadao. Now, the white American told Dr. Sadao that I realized, I understood you are saving my life again. Why again? Because Dr. Sadao first time he saved his life by operating the white American. Dr. Sadao, we know that Dr. Sadao had taken his body and he operated him, and he had taken out the bullet that had entered his body. So, this is the first time Dr. Sadao saved his life. Now, this is the second time that he made the plan, and he had arranged the boat, and he told the white American to escape from his house. So, the white American was telling that I realized you are saving my life again. Not at all, Sadao said. Sadao told, no, not at all. It is only inconvenience to have you here anymore. Now, Sadao is that kind of person. He was not taking the credit that yes, I have saved your life. Sadao was telling, no. I am doing this because it becomes a very problematic to send you to keep you in my house. Beforehand, Sadao also told this to the white American that this is a known fact. Everybody actually knows that you are staying at my house. So, because it creates a problem for me, and that is the reason, as it is creating problem for me, that is the reason I am helping you to escape from my house. He had hesitated a good deal about giving the man a flashlight, but he had decided to give it to him after all. It was a small one, his own, which he used at night when he was called. Now, Dr. Sadao is having a small flashlight, torchlight, okay, and Dr. Sadao used to use this torchlight when he was called at night. After hesitating, Dr. Sadao had handed over the white American the flashlight. It suggests that Dr. Sadao no longer is angry or no longer is irritated with the white American. Yes, the flashlight was one of his dearest things to Dr. Sadao. So, Dr. Sadao had given this flashlight to the white American only to help him to escape from his house. Now, he actually told something to the white American, and these are very important. What he told: if your food runs out before you catch a boat, he said, signal me 2 flashes. At the same instant, the sun drops over the horizon. After giving the torchlight to the white American, Dr. Sadao told that you are going to the island and you will have to wait for a Korean boat. Before that, suppose you are staying in the island and your food has runs out, means your food has exhausted, finished, then you should give 2 flashes at the time when sun drops in the horizon, means at the dusk time, at the dusk when it is the meeting time between the afternoon and evening. In that time, you must give 2 flashes of the torch as a signal, means your food has been exhausted. Do not signal in darkness. Dr. Sadao warned the American that do not flash the light in darkness, because if you flash the light in darkness, you will be seen, for it will be seen. Other people could see that somebody is there. If you are all right but still there, signal me once. And again, suppose you are still there in the island, your food is also enough, then you just signal me only once. So, 2 signals means the man was still there in the island and his food has been finished. 1 signal means the man was still in the island and he is staying safe and his food is also with him. You will find fresh fish easy to catch, but you must eat them raw. a fire would be seen. Dr. Sadao told that in the island you would be able to catch fish, but you will have to eat the fish raw, because if you lit a light over there, then you would be caught. The fire would be seen from anywhere and you might be caught. So don't set a fire. Okay, the Dr. Sadao warned this to the white American. Okay, the young man breathed. So remember these two signals. 2 flashes of light means the man is staying in the island and his food has been exhausted, means finished. 1 flashes of light means the man is staying in the island and he is having enough food with him, everything is okay with him. So the man told okay, the young man breathed. He was dressed now in the Japanese clothes which Sadao had given him, and at the last moment Sadao wrapped a black cloth about his blonde head. Sadao had given him Japanese dress so that nobody could have any doubt whether the man is a Japanese or American or other country. So the man was wearing Japanese dress that Sadao had given him, and at the last moment Dr. Sadao had wrapped his black hair, wrapped a black cloth about his bald hair, and the man is having blonde hair. Blonde means golden yellowish. Japanese people don't have these golden yellowish hair. So if anybody could see the hair, then they could suspect that this man is not a Japanese. That is why Dr. Sadao covered his head with a black cloth so that his golden yellowish hair could not be seen. Now, Sadao said, now means time has come, you escape from there. The young American, without a word, shook Sadao's hand warmly and then walked quite well across the floor and down the step into the darkness of the garden. The white American did not say anything. He just shook Sadao's hand and without a word he just came down into his garden, and across the garden he was coming out of his house, means of Dr. Sadao's house. Once, twice, Sadao saw his light flash to find his way. Sadao was standing in the veranda, and from veranda Sadao could see that the man has just lighted his torch twice. Okay. Shook, yes, shook is the past tense of shake. Handshake, we know, Jivanangshi, you know handshake. This is shook is the past tense. Okay, that he had an handshake with Dr. Sadao. So the American came out of his house, of Dr. Sadao's house, and he flashed his light only twice. Question may come that when the American came out of Dr. Sadao's house, how many times he flashed his torchlight? Here twice, only twice. But that would not be suspected. But actually when the man came out of that of Dr. Sadao's house, he just flashed that light for twice. For 2 times he flashed the light, and nobody would have any suspect towards it. He waited until from the shore there was one more flash, and Dr. Sadao just waited and he saw one more flash there. Then he closed the partition. That night he slept. He waited until from the shore there was one more flash. Okay, that he just waited that so that the man could reach the shore, and that night he closed the partition, and that night Sadao slept. We know for last 3 nights Sadao did not have good sleep because he was waiting the murderers to come to murder the white American. But the last 3 nights nobody came. So Sadao did not have a good sleep. But that night when the white American went out of his house, he slept that night. You say the man escaped? The general asked faintly. He had been operated upon a week before, an emergency operation to which Sadao had been called in the night. Now afterwards, Sadao had been called because the army general had an emergency operation. And after the operation, when the man had faint sense, Dr. Sadao had told the army general that the man had escaped from my house. He only told this, that the man had escaped from my house. And the army general was very much surprised and he had an operation. For 12 hours, Sadao had not been sure that the general would leave. Now, after the operation for 12 hours, Dr. Sadao was not sure whether the man would, whether the army general would leave or dead. Okay? Because we know Dr. Sadao was his personal doctor, and army general was suffering from his heart. He had an heart attack earlier. So, Dr. Sadao operated him, and for 12 hours he was not sure whether the old army general would alive or died, would alive or die. But ultimately he alive. He was alive. Now, then the old man had begun to, now here the gallbladder was much involved. So, it was the operation of the gallbladder, and after the operation Dr. Sadao was not sure for 12 hours whether the man would live or die. Then the old man had begun to breathe deeply again and to demand food. After these 12 hours, the man now started to demand food, means the man was all well, means here army general. Sadao had not been able to ask about the assassins. At that time, when the man came to his sense, after he had been operated, Dr. Sadao had not asked the army general about the assassins, means murderer. Yes, it is true, we know that the army general had promised Dr. Sadao that he would send 2 of his assassins, 2 of his murderers, but none had come. So, just after the operation, Dr. Sadao had not asked about the assassins, but he told the army general that the white American has escaped from his house. So far as he knew, they had never come, and 1 week had passed. Afterwards, Dr. Sadao knew that nobody came in this 1 week. Okay, nobody came in that week. The servants had returned, and Yumi had cleaned the guest room thoroughly and had burned sulfur in it to get the white man's smell out of it. Now, as everybody came to know that the white man had escaped from Dr. Sadao's house, the servants, the gardener, Yumi, the cook, they had all returned, and Yumi had cleaned or washed the guest room properly. Not only that, he burned sulfur so that no smell over there of the white man in that room. We know that during the worship of God, during puja, we burn raisins, that is dhuno, for having a strong flavor, having a strong smell. So, here Yumi in that room, he burned sulfur so that there was no smell of white man there. The servants had returned, and Yumi had cleaned the guest room thoroughly, and he had burned sulfur in it to get the white man's smell out of it. Nobody said anything. The servants, Sadao, Hana, nobody said anything. Only the gardener was cross because he had got behind with his chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum is a flowering plant. Only the gardener was unhappy because he had to stay away from this chrysanthemum. The gardener was so involved with his garden that he actually he found it very difficult to stay away from that garden of Dr. Sadao. So, here nobody said anything, only the gardener was cross, means he was not satisfied at all, because he had to got behind with his chrysanthemum. The chrysanthemum flower was there in Sadao's garden, and gardener had to stay away from these flowers. That is why the gardener was somehow not very much happy. But after a week, Sadao felt the general was well enough to be spoken to about the prisoner, and after a week, now Dr. Sadao found that the general is well enough, the general is also getting well from his operation, and now he could talk to the general regarding this operation. Yes, Excellency, he escaped. After 1 week, just Dr. Sadao informed the army general just after the operation. Now, after 1 week, he had come again to discuss about that man's escape. Yes, Excellency, he escaped. Sadao now said, Sadao told the army general, he escaped. He coughed, signifying that he had not said all he might have said. But when Dr. Sadao told that the white American escaped, he coughed a lot. He coughed a little, like this, because it signified that he did not want to say everything. Yes, we know that the white man did not escape. It is Dr. Sadao who helped the white man to escape from his house, who actually arranged everything for the white man to escape from his house. Dr. Sadao had not told everything to the army general, but was unwilling to disturb the general further, and he was unwilling to disturb, and Dr. Sadao was not very much interested to disturb the army general. But the old man opened his eyes suddenly. The old man, he was lying, closing his eyes, he was just getting well from his operation. The old man, he just opened his eyes. Okay? That prisoner, he said with some energy, "Did I not promise you I would kill him for you?" The army general asked this to Dr. Sadao. Did I not promise you I would kill him for you? The army general now remembered that I had promised to you that I would kill the white American. The army general remembered about his promise. "You did, Excellency," Sadao said. Sadao told, "Yes, Excellency," because Sadao always addressed army general saying Excellency. "Yes," Sadao said. Well, the old man said in a tone of amazement. Amazement means surprise. The old man was very much surprised. "So I did." So old man remembered, "Yes, I did promise, I promised you. But you see, I was suffering a good deal." And he told, yes, he promised to kill the white American, but he told that I was suffering a good deal. "The truth is, I thought of nothing but myself." Now the army general submitted, army general accepted, he admitted, he agreed that yes, he promised to kill the white American, but he was suffering a lot and he was thinking only about himself. "In short, I forgot my promise to you." And he told Dr. Sadao that he actually accepted that I had forgotten about my promise. "I wondered, Your Excellency," Sadao murmured. Sadao told, I became surprised. It is a great surprising thing that you have forgotten about your promise." The question may come, what was the promise? The promise is, the army general had promised Dr. Sadao that he would send 2 of his assassins, 2 of his murderers to his house. But now the army general accepted this fact that he had forgotten about his promise. And at this, Dr. Sadao told that, "Yes, Excellency, I was surprised that you have forgotten your promise." Up to this, today, as it is time's up, so I feel you have understood. Next class, we must complete it. Have you understood? Do you have any question? Okay. So today up to this, stay at home, and as I told about the essay competition, I feel you should go for it. You should go for it for the essay competition. At first you must go to that CBSE site, that is www.cbse.nic.in. Okay, from there you would get all the details of that essay writing competition, and I hope you should try your hand in writing your essay in this lockdown period. The topic is Atmanirbhar, that is self-reliance. Next class we will complete the story The Enemy, and I will give you some extra question as well. So till then, it's goodbye.